good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Coffee with a Coach. Last week I was in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada doing a management workshop. It's one that I do pretty often, 3 days worth. And one of the people in my class was a guy named Tom. Now Tom is probably in his 60s, speaks with a really thick Scottish accent, so it was really fun listening to him talk. But Tom's role in this organization is that of what they call a fellow. And a fellow is someone that's been around a long time and is kind of there in an advisory role to share the knowledge that they've gained over time. And what he did this week really impacted me, and it also demonstrated pretty clearly what we're talking about this week, which is the power of information power. Information power is grown when you get more information, and Tom had so much information he gained through all his years of experience that it really made him powerful. But what really made him powerful was the fact that he shared that information. Now, normal people with that kind of information might become the know-it-all in the class and might want to say all the answers and just show how smart they are. Tom reflected, he shared his information, but he did it really appropriately and really professionally. When the session was over, I spoke to the HR manager and she says, "Oh, Tom is in my office at least once a week asking me questions, running a scenario by me." Now, Tom's probably forgotten more about management than I'll ever learn, and yet he's still learning more. The beautiful part is that he's sharing this knowledge. And as I was thinking about it, I thought, what's a good way to define it? Well, here's my definition. And I think that knowledge power goes like this. Collected knowledge that's shared appropriately to develop the knowledge and skills of others. And I want to call that wisdom. People say, well, what are you going to do that's wise? What's the wise thing? Well, I think you got to define what wisdom is. Here's my definition again. Wisdom is collected knowledge that's shared appropriately to develop the knowledge and skills of others. If you don't have information power, it's pretty easy to get. You just got to read, you got to study, you got to learn stuff. I've learned way more since I graduated with my master's back in '97 just by reading and studying and working with people. You can do the same thing. Information power is knowledge power. You grow your knowledge by adding to it. You can lose it by refusing to add to it. So what are you going to do this week to grow that knowledge? Tom's a great example of somebody that's continuously learning, and I'd love to be just like that. Won't you join me this week? Well, that's all I got this week. Have a wonderful week, and join me next week on Coffee with a Coach.